Five students from St. Margaret College Girls Secondary Zaytun. The Zaytun home in Villa situated in the grounds of our school. As typical with most other archaeological sites, it has a widespread deterioration, some of which are triggered by natural origins such as vegetation. As a result, there is a regular need for periodical removal and treatment of weeds. This may end up being quite time-consuming, so it would be more advantageous for archaeologists to use herbicides on weeds. As a result, we wanted to investigate the effect of two different types of herbicides on archaeological stones.
This was stimulated artificially in the lab by testing the herbicides on three types of rocks: globigerina limestone, coralline limestone, and clay stones, all of which are found present at the Zaytun Roman Villa. The decoration effect was mainly studied using changing mass and appearance of the stones using a USB microscope.
The effect of herbicide was studied under two scenarios. The first scenario comprised the real-life situation, where the herbicide was tested on the stone with the soil on top. The other setup included the testing of the herbicides directly on the three types of stones. This was important since the pH and the conductivity of the herbicides might have been altered by the time they reached the stone because of the presence of the soil.
Studies showed that the herbicides do affect the stones. All stone surfaces were affected and nearly all stones decreased in mass. The pH of the stones were also affected after the application of the herbicides, showing that there is some form of interaction between the stones and the herbicides.
As a result, we recommend that the use of herbicides from a preventive conservation aspect should be minimized as much as possible in archaeological sites. This shows that archaeologists should as much as possible use manual techniques to remove the weeds, such as for example using a string trimmer. Uprooting is not recommended for archaeological sites, as the roots may be retaining the soil around the stones, which would ultimately lead to further erosion of the soil. When the use of herbicides is strictly necessary, the herbicide should be used away from the stone profiler objects. Before the herbicide's application, it should be made sure that the flooring and surrounding stones are covered by a plastic sheet so as to minimize the possible contact with stones. Otherwise, if used locally, the herbicide should be brushed on leaves. The application is then carried out by brushing a diluted solution on the leaves using a small paintbrush, allowing it to be absorbed by the plant or shrub. This would ensure that the contact time between the herbicide and the stone is minimal to reduce any negative interactions. This can also be followed by rinsing the stone with water from a product has carried out its action to avoid long-term interactions with substrate.
Our past makes our present, so we hope that our result gives out a better indication to archaeologists on the use of herbicides on stones in relation to current conservation project taking place in our school premises.
Remember, we deserve it, so let's conserve it!